Good evening. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. A bombing attack has left at least 12 people dead in Nigeria. The suspected female suicide bomber detonated the device in Maiduguri, the capital of Nigeria's Borno state, on Tuesday. The attack came 3 days after multiple bombings in the city killed more than 50 people. Meanwhile, Nigeria's military says it is scoring a string of victories against Boko Haram with the recapture of towns previously held by the militants. Cameroon, Chad, Niger and Benin have mobilized forces this year to help Nigeria defeat Boko Haram after it seized large amounts of territory and staged cross-border attacks. Morale was high among Nigerian troops who sang and set fire to the Boko Haram flag during a tour through Buniyadi, one of the recaptured towns. The Nigerian task force officer says there is no stopping until the victory is complete.
Like I told you earlier, Yobe State is made up of 17 local governments. And sometimes in the middle of last year, 2 local governments were completely lost to the insurgents. And as I speak to you now, we have just one major town to take to complete the retaking of these 2 local governments, and that is Gonori. And as I speak to you, one of the battalion is already en route to Gonori to take Gonori. We have swept every other place. We are moving to Gonori now, and I'm sure they will take it very soon.
Local vigilantes helping the troops believe the campaign is working.
The soldiers are working around the clock to ensure the return of peace in our communities. We also assist them, and this has been very successful.
Lately, Boko Haram has been on the defensive after Chadian and Nigerian troops launched offensives in coordination with the Nigerian army, successfully reclaiming some important towns in Borno. Nigerian government forces have also pushed the militants out of Adamawa state and regained ground in Yobe, although Boko Haram raids persist. Until recently, the insurgents controlled an expanse the size of Belgium. Boko Haram has killed thousands and displaced over 1.5 million people over a 6-year period in a quest to carve out an Islamic state in the northeast of Nigeria. The group gained international notoriety in April 2014 after it kidnapped over 200 schoolgirls who were yet to be found. Well, Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan spoke to VOA's Chris Stein today on his government's fight against Boko Haram.
I'm hopeful that in the next 3 weeks, we'll be able to take over our territories. That will not end Boko Haram. But the issue of holding on to territories, I believe in the next 3 weeks we'll be able to take over these territories. Yes, they will still be using improvised explosive devices, these IEDs, to cause havoc, especially soft targets like markets, schools, and so on. And people have to be extremely careful. But the issue of holding on to territories where they will pin in their flags, I believe in the next 3 weeks we'll be able to rout the Boko Haram. But for these 2 states of Adamawa and Yobe, by middle of next week, we'll be able to clear these 2 states. And Borno State, I believe, in 3 weeks' time from today, we should be able to clean up Borno State.
We'll have more of Chris Stein's interview with Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan on Thursday.